The same way Mazi Nnamdi Kanu shouted in 2010. We are still shouting today, telling the world that the only solution to the genocide happening in Nigeria, the only solution to the failed state, Nigeria, the only remedy is Biafra, disintegration. They wouldn't listen until when it becomes too late. They are still waiting for more innocent blood to be shed before they will do what they had to do. But we will not allow that to happen. We can no longer allow them to use the blood of the Biafrans to continue to set up their evil empire called Nigeria. We will no longer allow our blood to be used to set up an empire. That is why we are here. That is why we are shouting and speaking every morning, and we will continue to do so until we are heard. So I welcome everyone that have joined us on this platform today. Remember, in this our platform, it is a platform for public opinion. You are entitled to your opinion. If you want to make a contribution on our discussion, all you need to do is to send your request and I will bring you in. Whether you are watching on TikTok, on Facebook, or on YouTube, send your request. I will bring you in, you speak, and the whole world will hear you. There are people watching on TikTok. There are people watching on Facebook. There are people watching on YouTube. So wherever you are watching, if you want to make a contribution, all you need to do is to send your request. I will bring you in. You speak loud and the whole world will hear you. Why will respond? The only thing that qualifies you to join us on this platform is for you to be a human being with conscience. You must not be a Biafran to join us. Even if you are a one Nigerianist, or you are from other part of Africa, you are from other part of the world, no matter what your orientation might be, no matter what your religion might be, the only thing we ask is that when you come, just try to be civil. Don't get insult. Nobody's going to insult you. Do not use vulgar words. Be civil. You will have all the time to express yourself. You are entitled to your opinion, and we are entitled to respond. We disagree to agree. At the end of the day, we will go back and watch what we have said, watch our debates, and then we make up our mind on what we want to do. I can't force you to do anything, neither can you force me to do it. No. All we need to do is to bring out facts, then allow the people to digest the facts and make their decisions. That is why we're here. So I welcome everyone that have joined us wherever you have joined. Thank you for being part of the program. Today, we are taking on a topic which says Eve of Judgment. Eve of Judgment. Will Mazi Nnamdi Kanu walk free? Nigeria's Christian attacks. The truth they fear. Eve of Judgment. Remember, today is the last day to wait. Tomorrow is the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is going to be in court tomorrow. And Nigerian government will be judged. Not Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Tomorrow is Judgment Day. We are going to be here tomorrow and we're going to bring the information live as it's coming from Abuja. So prepare yourself to join us tomorrow as we anchor tomorrow and join them in Abuja. So today is the eve of that long-awaited judgment. What are your expectations? What do you want to hear? What are your preparations against tomorrow? We are going to speak on these issues for as much as we can. And you also have the right to join us and make your contributions where necessary. Will Mazi Nnamdi Kanu walk free? That is the question. Nigerian Christian attack, the Christian genocide is still intensifying. It is still ongoing as we speak, even more than ever. Since after the designation of Nigeria as a country of particular concern, the terrorists have intensified the attack. And we also talk about the truth they fear. You know, in this platform, we say it the way it is without being politically correct. And that is what we will continue to do. So I welcome everyone that have joined us on this program today, wherever you are joining from. I thank you for being part of the program. And once again, I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Accept my greetings according to your time zone. My people of Biafra, lovers of freedom across the world, defenders of justice, and the resilient sons and daughters of Biafra. This morning is not ordinary morning as we enter the eve of judgment. Today is not an ordinary day. This morning we are having not just like any other broadcast, a special broadcast is what we're having on the eve of Judgment Day. Today is the eve of judgment. The moment before history speaks. The moment before history speaks. Tomorrow, the 20th of November, the High Court of Nigeria is expected to declare a judgment that will either restore justice or expose Nigeria once again as a failed state beyond repair. That is what you are going to see tomorrow. Tomorrow, the 20th of November, the High Court of Nigeria is expected to declare a judgment that will either restore justice or expose Nigeria once again as a failed state beyond repair. These are the two major things to expect tomorrow. I have always told you that it is not about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You and I know that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is an innocent man, a prisoner of conscience. So whatever happens tomorrow is not about our supreme leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It's a judgment on Nigeria itself. But at the center of this storm is one man. At the center of this revelation tomorrow is one man. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. A prisoner of conscience and the symbol of people refusing to remain silent. The world watches. Nigeria trembles. But we Biafrans, we stand firm. We stand firm and we will continue to stand firm. Tomorrow, the 20th of November. What is at stake? It's a question. What is at stake tomorrow, 20th of November? What is at stake? And I will guide you through to some things you got to expect and what is at stake tomorrow. Tomorrow judgment is not just a legal process. It is a test. It is not just a legal process. It is a test of Nigeria's crumbling justice system. A test of Nigeria's commitment to human rights. A test to Nigerian reputation on the global stage. A test whether truth can survive in a nation drowning in lies. That is what you're going to see tomorrow. If the court does not do what they are supposed to do, If the court does what is right, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu walks free because he was unlawfully kidnapped. If the court does what is right tomorrow 20th, if the court uphold the law, does what is right, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will walk free because he was unlawfully kidnapped, because he was extraordinarily renditioned, because he was detained without lawful trial for more than almost 10 years now. He was detained without lawful trial. Some of you are counting from 2001. This case started all the way from 2015. Don't forget. From 2015. So when you are counting the detention, count from 2015. Detained without lawful trial. Because international law we have violated. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu rights we are stripped completely. His health deteriorated while illegal custody. If the court does what is right tomorrow, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will walk free. With this point that I've stated, if the court does what is right, looking into what they are supposed to look into, the unlawful kidnap, the extraordinary rendition, the unlawful detention and trial, international laws broken and violated, human rights laws broken and violated, the health of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is in jeopardy. If the court does what is right, our supreme leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, will walk free. But if the court bows to pressure from interest group, from the government itself, government of Nigeria and the caliphate, if the court bows to the pressure, if the judiciary becomes a slave to politicians, then tomorrow becomes another proof that Nigeria is a graveyard where justice is buried. Tomorrow is a very important day. Tag every human rights activist that you know. Tag anybody that you know on this very program. Share this program and make it go viral. It is very important that this information has to be out there while we enter into 20th for the judgment. It is very, very important and very critical that this information should be out there while we enter 20th, the judgment day. We are talking about a failed state by all standard. A failed state by every standard you know of. Nigeria is a failed state. Nigeria today is a country on life support. Every sector of Nigeria has collapsed. Every sector that you can know, think about, they have all collapsed. Security have failed in the contraption called Nigeria. Terrorists roam freely. Citizens live in fear. The murderers walk free, while peaceful agitators are jailed. This is what you see in a failed state. Failed economy. That is what you have in Nigeria. Failed economy. Inflation is killing the poor. Corruption holds the nation hostage. Leadership is incompetent and selfish. This is the only thing you can find in a failed state. Governance failed woefully. Governance failed completely. court orders are ignored. Human rights are trampled. Freedom of speech is criminalized. Nigeria is no longer a functional nation. It is a zoo of confusion, a theater of misery, and a symbol of leadership bankruptcy. That is what you have in the zoological republic called Nigeria. Tomorrow is a very special day. A very special day that the whole world must pay attention to. While we are paying attention, on the 20th, for the judgment of Nigeria, remember, the attack on Christians have intensified even as we speak. The attack on Christians have increased to the highest level as we speak. The continued attack on Christians and Biafrans as well have increased as we speak right now. Christian communities are under unprovoked attacks. Christian communities are under unprovoked attacks. And I'm going to share a video of a recent attack in Kwara State, inside a church. Inside a church. I'm going to share the video for you. You see, their CCTV captured an attack by terrorists inside the church. I want us to pay attention. When we are talking about the jihad and Christian genocide, people try to talk down on it and they say it is not happening. I want you to pay attention because it is happening. It is happening. Anybody that is denying it should be arrested because that person is an accomplice. I want you to pay attention to this video I'm about to play. What you are watching, terrorist attack inside a church in Kwara State. This is not an old issue. This happened, I think, that 3 years ago or so. I am going to remove the sound because I'm going to remove the sound of the guns. I remove the sound so that we can just watch it because the sound, you know, YouTube, they have some restrictions. They don't like the sound of the guns and all that. They don't allow it. So I have to mute it. But you will hear the sound of gun blazing inside the church. Terrorists are there. Look at them. Look at them. Look at the terrorists, you see. Watch, you will see them stealing and taking innocent lives. You saw the terrorists. You see them taking the bags of the worshippers. Broad daylight attack in a church. In a church. I just removed the voice because of the guns that they are shooting. You will see the terrorists, you see them coming out. The people in the church, look at one of the terrorists, you see chasing the worshippers there. Shooting sporadically, kidnap the ones they will kidnap and murder the ones they will murder. This is a church, inside a church, even with the designation of Nigeria as a country of particular concern. And their government is busy denying. Look at terrorists inside the church. Look at them. Look at them inside the church. Look at them. The people ran to the altar. They chased them into the altar there to destroy things. That's the terrorists. Breaking all the doors. That's the terrorists. Look at them stealing their bags. Look at the terrorists packing their bags. See? Look at him here. He's taking all the bags. He's carrying all their bags. Look at him. Watch him there. Look at him. Stealing. That's the terrorist. With his gun. Carrying all their bags. Look at it. See what he's doing. Look at the terrorists. They are packing all their bags. Look at them. All the worshippers' bags. Look at them. They take all their bags. That's terrorists operating inside a church. You can imagine. Inside a church. Fulani terrorists inside the church. Even for you to know that that is a sound he made now. That sound he made, the way they call their cow, that sound they make with their mouth, only that sound alone will confirm to you that these are Fulanis. Because only Fulanis make that sound to call themselves. That is the sound they used to give themselves sign. He just made that sound here. He just made that sound. If you pay attention, you may You can imagine. Inside the church. Inside the church, that is where this thing is happening. Inside the church. Taking innocent lives, stealing their properties. Listen to that sound. You see, this is happening inside the church. The attack on Christians has continued and the government is not doing nothing. This operation will take hours and nobody is going to come to do anything. Nobody. But they are busy going around to deny that there is genocide of the Christians. They will go around and be denying that is genocide. They will go around and deny. They will go about and they will be denying. Did you see that? Did you see that? The same people will go about and they will be denying that there is genocide. The whole world should pay attention. Tomorrow will mark the beginning of the end of all this nonsense. The attack of the Christians has continued unabated. Biafran towns and villages are militarized. Biafran towns and villages are militarized by Nigerian government troop itself, Nigerian government themselves. They are the ones operating in Biafra, while the terrorists are taking charge of the northwest, southwest, and the north. The terrorists themselves are the one doing the job in the north, doing it in the southwest. But in Biafra land, Nigerian government are the ones doing the same job. The same thing the terrorists are doing now is what Nigerian government is doing in Biafra land. The exact thing. They even go to church. Nigerian government troops, they go to church. In where the Jewish people are worshiping, the Jewish Biafrans, they go to their church, they destroy it, they burn it, they burn the churches down. And the same thing the terrorists are doing. They go to Biafra land, they invade markets. We saw when Joraman was crying here. They invaded the market where his own mother was and his own mother was hot. That is what the Nigerian government is doing in Biafra land. Innocent youths are arrested and disappeared completely. So many youths are missing. Nobody can give account of their whereabouts. So many youths. Nobody can give account of their whereabouts. Churches are attacked and burned down completely. Citizens in the East are treated like enemies of the state. That one is the order of the day. We have been seeing it since we were born up to today. They treat us as enemy of the state. And at the same time, they don't want to let us go. How long are we going to remain in this very madness? How long? The persecution of the Christians and the Biafrans is real. It is real. The silence is criminal. The silence of the world is criminal. The world must pay attention. The world must pay attention now. What you just watch here is what Nigeria refused to acknowledge. The video I played now is what Nigeria refused to acknowledge. You saw it firsthand with your own eyes. What is going on? This is just the one that was captured on video. This happened recently in Kwara State. Later on, I'm going to bring the full news from Sahara Reporter so that you see it and know that it's not just a made-up thing. Sahara carried news. I'm going to bring the full news from Sahara and read it out so that you can understand. There is a deliberate pattern of Christian persecution in Nigeria. There is a targeted hunt against the Biafrans. But the blood of the innocent speaks louder than propaganda. And tomorrow's judgment will either confirm the oppression or challenge it. Tomorrow's judgment will either confirm the oppression or challenge it. That is what we're going to see tomorrow. And we call on international communities and those that matter to pay attention to Nigeria tomorrow. Fix your satellites to Nigeria. Focus on Nigeria. Because that is the only voice we have. The hypocrisy of the political elite is another evil that has to be dealt with. The hypocrisy of the political elite, another strong evil that must be dealt with. And we must not be silent. We must not be silent. That is another evil that must be dealt with. Why Biafrans suffer? Why Christians cry out? While Mazi Nnamdi Kanu remain in unlawful detention, Southeast politicians remain silent. Up to this moment, why the Nigerian government is going to their judgment, Southeast politicians remain silent. Some pretend not to know what is going on. Some betray. Most play safe because of their political stomach. They are playing safe for their political stomach. They fear their master than they fear the judgment of history. But the people see everything. We know the truth. And we will hold every hypocrite accountable. Every hypocrite in Biafra land, we will hold them accountable. It doesn't matter where you are. You can run, but you can't hide. Every hypocrite, every politician that's a hypocrite, every elite hypocrite, they will all be held accountable. There are informations that the world must know. The world must know. The world must know and hear us loud. That we expect a fair judgment tomorrow. We don't expect anything less than fair judgment. It's unacceptable. Anything less than fair judgment is unacceptable. We expect a lawful judgment. Judgment that will pass according to law, in consideration to all processes of law. Anything short of that is unacceptable. We expect a judgment based on facts. Judgment based on facts. Anything less than that is unacceptable. We want the world to know this and pay attention to tomorrow. We expect a judgment free from political intimidation. If the court does what the law demands, if the court itself does what the law demands, then Mazi Nnamdi Kanu must be released unconditionally tomorrow. There is no doubt about it. If the court does what the law demands, then Mazi Nnamdi Kanu must be released unconditionally. But if tomorrow becomes another mockery of justice, then Nigeria will officially declare to the world that it is unfit to be called a democratic nation. Even though we have known that they are unfit. Even though we know that they are unfit, but they have a chance tomorrow to redeem themselves. They have the opportunity tomorrow to redeem themselves. But if they fail, the world is watching. The world is paying attention. And it's only sending one message. And here is my message to my fellow Biafrans and supporters of freedom across the world. I have a message. My people, every one of us must remain calm but vigilant. Every one of us Biafrans, we must remain calm but vigilant. Tomorrow is a very special day. Remember, we always observe a sit at home when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has a case. And tomorrow is supposed to be a special one. As they want to deliver the judgment to themselves. My people, remain calm but vigilant. Remain peaceful but bold. Remain prayerful but prepared. Tomorrow is a defining moment. Tomorrow is a defining moment. Whether the judgment is fair or unfair, one thing remains certain. The Biafran struggle cannot be stopped. Tomorrow is a defining moment, but whether the judgment is fair or unfair, one thing remains certain, very, very certain. The Biafran struggle cannot be stopped. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is an idea. An idea. Do not die. An idea. Do not die. So, my fellow Biafrans, wherever you are today, there is a need for us to call for action from everybody. Wherever you are on this platform, wherever you are and you come across this very program, you come across this very video, amplify the message. Share the broadcast. Tell the world what is happening. Tell the world what is happening in Nigeria. Tell the world about the judgment that is coming up today. Let them pay attention. Tag all the human rights activists that you can be able to reach. Tag all the NGOs, those who are concerned. Tell the world what is happening. Let the Nigerian government know we are watching. Stand for truth and stand for justice. By tomorrow, expect history to be written. Tomorrow, expect history to be written. Expect truth to challenge lies tomorrow. Expect the people to rise above oppression tomorrow. It does not matter the amount of lies that the Nigerian government have in their buckets. Do not be moved. They are going from places to places, lying, going from one place to the other, telling lies about the situation. But as I say, we must speak and speak loud. Do not be silent. Do not be silent. While the lawyers are doing their part, do your own part as an individual. And that will bring us to a video that was made by one of the lawyers of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Barrister Maxwell. Let us hear what Barrister Maxwell has to say. He has a message to deliver. And I believe that message is very, very important at this particular point in time. We must not leave any stone unturned. Everything that we do, we must do. We must do everything humanly possible to see that our voice is being heard. You must not walk away from the truth. You must not be tired. This is not the time to get tired. This is the time for us to speak more. It is time for us to speak more. Don't you ever walk away. We must continue to speak. And speak wherever we are. Add your voice. As the lawyers are doing their part, you equally do your own part.
A sincere point. I want to commend the president for coming out to tell the entire world that he has no hands in what is going on in the judiciary. That is to say, he has told the entire world that any judicial officer that committed anything should go in for it. Nobody should call the president. What do I mean? The president has exonerated himself before the world. The ball now stop at the table of the judicial officers, because I will continue to say this thing. There's one Justice Ebo, that allowed himself to be messed up during the time of Obasanjo. Now, Obasanjo has left after 8 years. Now, some judges also messed themselves up during the time of Buhari. Buhari has now left. The dent is with those judges. So the point we are trying to make is that a judge, if there is a case before you and you look at the law, you give judgment. Don't look at the president. Because if you are looking at the body language of the president and you commit judicial impunity, you will be the person to bear it. Thank God that Mr. President have told you, anything that you know that is right, do it. Don't look at my body language. Whether it is sincere, whether it's not sincere, but the world is now before the entire world that the president of Nigeria have said that he has distanced himself from judiciary, that judiciary should be independent. Once there is any case against the government and you know that the government erred, give judgment against the government. If there is any case against Mr. President, give the judgment against Mr. President, because Mr. President has exonerated himself on the 17th day of November 2025. He told the entire world, before the judiciary, do what is right. Don't look at my body language. Whether the case involves Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, whether the case involves anybody, give judgment in line with the law, not looking at the body language of the president. That is what I make out of that particular speech.
Now, but shouldn't we also be concerned about transparency in judicial appointments and promotion, seeing as this sometimes could be politicized in Nigeria? How do we curb that?
Yes, that is we have been shouting on it, because the problem we're having in judiciary now is through the selection process. I want you to, you are an investigative journalist, go and check the appointment of judges you have for the past 10 years. You cannot see a daughter or a son of a Panwan Tapa there, no matter how qualified that person may be. The people that you will see their names, the daughters and the sons of judges, politicians, and the people that matters in the society. So the selection process matters, because you can't be talking about judicial integrity. You are not talking about looking at the selection process. I think Professor Chido Odenkalo and some other persons, Joe Silas and some other persons, kicked against that the other day. We are not saying that if somebody is qualified simply because the person is the daughter of a judge, that will not appoint him. That's not what we're saying. We are saying that let the persons whom you appointed as judges, let them come and face Nigerians. There's nothing secret about it. We should know their competence, because as I'm talking to you, there are some judgments that you will see coming from some judges, especially all these young ones. You ask yourself, what is happening? Where the law will tell you that 1 + 1 is 2. A judge will now give a judgment telling you that 1 + 1 is 3. So you will now discover that either the judge don't understand the law, or the judge must have collected a gratification somewhere, or because of his interest. So the selection process matters. I think the NBA is doing something about it. If you appoint some people as judges, they should come and address, if not any other person, they should come and address the members of the bar and the members of the press, so that people will put questions across to them. So that one also matters. And also what the CJN said on her own. The CJN said that people should stop criticizing judgment of courts. Mr. CJN, it doesn't work like that. When somebody who is not a lawyer engage you as a lawyer, and the person know that 1 + 1 is 2 in law, and the judgment came out and the judge delivered that 1 + 1 is no longer 2, is 3. The person will ask a question, he will criticize the judgment. Where the law said that in this particular matter, the only court that has jurisdiction, let me just use the issue of chieftaincy. The only court that has jurisdiction is the state high court. And the federal high court will not take up assume jurisdiction in adjudicating a matter that has to do with the chieftaincy affairs. And when people criticize that judgment, instead of people to look at the reason why that judge assumed jurisdiction, in a case that you don't have a jurisdiction, the judge will be elevated to a higher court. And you said that people should not criticize. You cannot beat a child and ask a child not to cry. People must criticize. Of course, people must have their opinion. The judgment is already there. Because when we are talking about criticism, if you watch previously, there are some judgments, when you read the judgment, even if the judgment is against you, you discover that you don't even have a grounds of appeal. But when judgment is obvious, this judge will give motion expert in the morning. The other judge in the other same subject matter will give another injunction. The other one will give another injunction. Injunction flying here and there. Others creating problem. And you said that people should not criticize. People should talk. People should criticize. People should raise alarm. Because this country belongs to all of us.
You have had Maxwell just made his case, and I believe everything Maxwell has said in this very video has everything to do with what is coming up tomorrow. Tomorrow, as Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is going to be in court tomorrow, and Nigeria will be judged tomorrow. The drug baron in Asrock has come out yesterday, was it yesterday or the day before yesterday, and said that judiciary is independent, he will never interfere with judiciary and all that, just trying to exonerate himself in advance. He wants to exonerate himself in advance. And Maxwell is here telling you, whoever is going to stand in for any judgment or anything, you have to be careful, because whatever you do, you will take responsibility, because the whole world is watching. The drug baron have been able to exonerate himself by that statement that he made, to take himself away from what is coming, because ICC is watching, other international communities are watching. So whatever judgment that you pass, whoever passed the judgment will be held responsible. You wouldn't say you are being pushed, you are being forced, you are being doing that, even though we know it's been done on the ground. But for him to come out and make that very speech openly, it speaks volume. And there's a reason he made that speech. So we have to be watching, and we follow suit. Whatever happens tomorrow, I don't care. I'm not even interested. We want to see the disgraced country prove that they are disgraced country tomorrow, as they have always done. You're welcome, my beloved brother Christian. Thank you so much for joining, bro Christian. You're welcome. Take the mic and speak.
Morning, bro. Good morning, my brother. Thank you so much. Yes, Maxwell Okpara, oh my goodness, amazing, intelligent, one of the astute lawyers in that place. Oh my God, that is the saying that to be forewarned is to be forearmed.
Yes.
He has one is an indirect subliminary message to Omotosho.
Exactly.
Because first of all, the president, whatever, he has washed his hand off the calamity that is coming.
That's what he did.
Clever enough, smart enough, he washed his hand off it. Now, if you don't wash your hands off it, Nnamdi Kanu is a guy that the Kenyan court has exonerated and compensated him because he's an innocent man. Yes. The whole world is watching. ICC watching. The US judicial system, their eyes everywhere, So if Omotosho goes ahead to do what Wike wants him to do, or what the Fulani Caliphate wants him to do, or whoever it is, he will have himself and himself alone to blame. Because we've seen situation where judges like Omotosho and so many in Nigeria that goes about perverting justice, we see how the arm of law gets hold of them. Even after delivering justice, they go in for it. Some are in prison, they get in prison. Some, when they travel abroad, they get arrested because their name will be flanked all over the place for bringing a judicial process to a perpetual ridicule, disregard. So it's very, very smart for barrister, this our brother now, Maxwell. Yes, very, very. Oh my goodness, the level of smartness that he has shown. You are warned. Be warned. You cannot have any excuse for yourself. Because before we say, which is true that Nigerian government, they are the one, they do this, they do that, they buy judges. Okay,
their hand is tight.
Exactly. Now, the most ironic of it all is that Tinubu also know that the world is watching. He knows.
Yes, he knows very well.
Because Nnamdi Kanu has gone global. The letter he wrote to Trump, they are all there. Even Nnamdi Kanu's wife, I saw yesterday, when he was also writing, appealing to Trump, even though in my estimation, it came a little bit too late, should I say. But anyway, better late than never, because if he has done that, maybe a few months ago, who knows? Well, I wouldn't say like years back, because Trump was not there years back, but Trump was there since early this year. So if he has done it a couple of months ago...
Even without Trump, she should have been going around all this while.
Exactly.
Because we saw what Winnie Mandela did when Mandela was inside. She was everywhere.
Even Ushore's wife in America too. And she also, even though she's in the UK, she could go to America because I suppose by now she's a citizen of UK. She, the wife herself. So you could go there and make the case. And a day before or two thereabout, and she's doing this. Well, in my own opinion, I feel like there's a music being played. The music is playing now, and I also think that there are those who they've been dancing the wrong music, but they begin to realize that they are dancing the wrong music because it's not whether Nnamdi Kanu has defeated Nigeria. It's not whether he has defeated. It's not whether. There's nothing like whether or if. Nnamdi Kanu,
there's no doubt about it.
Nnamdi Kanu has beaten the zoo hands down, and that was a promise he gave to them, and he has beaten them. It doesn't matter what they do tomorrow. It just doesn't matter what they do tomorrow. Nnamdi Kanu wins the war according to that song. He has not. Jesus Christ. So. And for those who have been dancing the wrong song all this while, the earlier they get wise, smart enough to change their dance tune because music has changed. Nnamdi Kanu has won. Because I've seen a lawyer a few days ago saying that what goes on judiciary in Nigeria is absurdity of the highest order.
Yes.
That a man who has been freed by international law in violation for what the government did, and a country in Africa has equally, so he said it's incredible what goes on. And so obviously the man has won. Nigeria, the Nnamdi Kanu has won Nigeria. So let's see what happens tomorrow. And for the wife who is doing this now, well, we shall see what happens all these years that you just sit back, whatever she was doing with the enemies of your husband or whatever it is, the father of your children, you sit back all this while. You probably have smelled the coffee now, know that, the man is unbeatable. Nnamdi Kanu has made him unbeatable. Everything the zoo threw at him, he absorbed it like a shock observer, and he has come out much even stronger. So I guess they are seeing the evidence is overwhelming. So if they are gonna change their dance tune, so be it. That is the situation, my brother. So obviously, tomorrow we'll see what happens. Shame has befallen Nigeria and their agents all over the place, both in the media and in the political circle. I saw the interview from that foreign minister, whom himself is one of the terrorists, and they are crying now.
He was interview with Piers Morgan.
Yeah, on Piers Morgan show,
I have it here. Is one of the. We are going to use it for a program. We're going to discuss it.
All right. So they just cry all over now that they should leave us alone, leave us alone. They want to divide us, quoting Sudan, quoting the. You are wasting your time. You are wasting your time because so that is one, and I think there's another one also. But anyway, Mazi, choose. Let's just we are empowered by Chukwu Abiyama. We have to continue. We have to continue. I always know that at the end of the day, victory will be ours because we haven't done these people nothing, absolutely no wrong. We haven't done them no wrong. All we ask is to be left alone. We want to. Who says that marriage has to be by force? Who said that being in Nigeria, being one Nigeria must be by force? Now, what can you do with that? We don't have anything in common. Absolutely nothing in common with these people. And they know it, and the world knows it. If you want to experiment, go and do whatever. Leave us alone. So the attempt that because you must impose yourself on people, control them. That is evil of the highest order. Who gave you the right? What makes you think that you can do this and succeed? To force yourself on people and deprive them of their God-given right and their culture, their religion, everything. So it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. Thank you, my brother. Oh, there's so much we can say later, maybe before we end of the day. So thank you.
Thank you so much, my brother. I appreciate you. Before we play that video from Piers Morgan, let us take a little break. Then we'll come back and play that video and discuss it so that people can be able to see through the lies of the government, how shamelessly they lie in the public.
Because since this offense was committed in England, so they said, it's only a UK court that can give a Nigerian court the authority to proceed, isn't it? Yeah, so based on that, they now amended the charge again and removed London. Location of the broadcast. Contrary to section 196? 174 of the Terrorism Prevention Act 2022. In violation of their own laws. In violation of their own laws. And you want me to stand trial under such circumstances? Is that possible? Nnamdi Kanu to stand trial where these shenanigans are going on? It's not possible. Anybody standing in trial or coming to try me is a terrorist. That's what they are not saying. Not me. As simple as that. Section 2, subsection 3F of Terrorism Prevention and Prohibition Act. That's what it says. Any court considered to try me is committed an act of terrorism. Yes. Very clear. You cannot violate a treaty that Nigeria entered into and then come to try that very person who is not done anywhere. So you must be aware of that. So that is why there is all these ridiculous delays. That is what the Supreme Court said. I did not jump bail. My home was invaded. They came to kill me and I survived. They came to Kenya to kidnap me, brought me back to this country and seeking to try me, which God says cannot happen. You cannot violate a treaty that the Kenya entered into and then hope to stand on that illegality to conduct a trial is not done anywhere anymore. And you wonder why God trusts you. You don't know what justice means. You have no idea what justice means. You don't know what justice means. Useless. You cannot try anybody unless the law is written. Show me the law. Show me the law. I want you to talk to me. Show me the law. Don't try that. Don't try it. Don't try it. Don't try rubbish. Don't try rubbish. Useless people. You don't know law. You don't know law. Your own constitution you don't respect. Supreme Court's judgment you don't respect. Then why are we in the court? Why are we in the court of law?
Welcome back. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate everyone that has connected to this program. Please kindly like and share the program. If you have not yet shared this program, I don't know what you're waiting for. Click the like button. Click the like button. Thumbs up. Give a thumbs up to the program. Then you share it in your platform, share in your X handle, share in your WhatsApp group, share to family and friends. Just reach out to anybody you can reach out to and let them know that we are here to propagate the gospel of freedom, the freedom of the Biafran people, as we always do. It is either Biafra or nothing. It is Biafra or nothing. There is no other thing on the table except Biafra. The only remedy to the failed state Nigeria is Biafra.